too.
100%. This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the technical director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now. Yes, it does. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts right now, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are live. If you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, or X, you can subscribe on YouTube. Go ahead right now and hit that subscribe button at the Sports Porch Podcast. And you can also subscribe on X at, what is it? At Sports Porch 1. I don't know. You'll notice right now that we are missing the Grand Schwabini. I'm your technical director. This guy in the studio he's to my right, that side. That's Hockey Jesus. And then we do have another special guest, as usual, in the studio, Curtis from SteelCityDraftGear.com.
Welcome back, Curtis.
There it is.
Thank you.
There it is. Now, I want to put this up real quick. I want everybody to understand here. Right now, we're having a giveaway, and that giveaway is to be one of the first people to get Steel City Draft Gear. Look, the draft is in April, folks. I know it's a long way away. We just had a preseason game with the Steelers. Everybody's talking about Mason Miller and Skylar Thompson and that Williams kid that caught the touchdown, and Darnell Washington from Mason Rudolph. Well, I'm going to talk about that tonight.
Well, you should.
Yeah, of course. And, but you want to get in early. You want to get a giveaway tonight. We're going to give away a draft bag, which you can see on the screen if you're watching, a draft towel, and we might throw in a little surprise. You
do like those surprises.
Well,
yes.
I got Curtis brings all this stuff around here. I got this stuff. It's laying around here. It's all this great draft gear. I mean, I'm going to wear them one at a time.
Right.
I'm not going to wear them all.
Well, you
know?
shouldn't.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
They'll get dirty all at the same time.
Thanks a lot for that.
There's a guy who goes to the Penguins hockey games, and he has a lot of jerseys. Sometimes he'll wear 2 or 3, and like at the end of the one period, he'll just take one off and, hey, I got a new jersey.
There's another one.
Maybe you should think about that.
No.
Food for thought.
So listen,
just trying to mix it up.
I'm going to let HJ and maybe Curtis together on this. While you're commenting in the show, what do we do here? Of course, we talk black and gold sports. We talk Steelers, Pirates, Penguins, and we encourage you to join in the conversation because we've been doing this for quite a few years. We've been friends for 30 plus years. We're fans. All right. We're fans. We're not afraid to say how we feel. We've been right about a lot of things that we didn't think we were going to be right about. But that being said, I can tell you right now that there's some sports media in this town that's starting to take notice. And we are not taking any prisoners.
Those people in the basement.
Yes. Beware of the sports podcast from the basement, okay? Because we are taking over the world. I promise you that. So real quick, Curtis, before we get into the Steelers, because HJ's dying to talk preseason.
I'm
Steelers
all
football.
ears.
What's going on in the SteelCityDraftGear.com world?
We're making new relationships, entertaining negotiations with additional podcasts. As you saw, we brought in all the new gear on the last podcast we did, but it wasn't posted on the website. So just we revamped the website and put showcased all the new gear for people to take a look at, and we're doing some advertising campaigns.
That's awesome. And let me tell you guys, this stuff is high quality. This hat I have on, this is Sports Porch exclusive merch with Steel City Draft Gear for anything on the site, right? Anything. If they use the promo code Porch, you can get 5% off. We did hand out a couple giveaways in the last few weeks. Our fan, Chris Chata, he got his giveaway. He sent an email saying he loved it. He's wearing the hat out in California. That's some good press. Mike Lawrence got received his. We're still waiting for is it Marvin? Marvin, if you're watching tonight, last week you won the giveaway.
You were the big winner, Marvin.
Right. I'm gonna put up this email right now. ogsportsporch@gmail.com. Send us your address. We'll send you the bag, the towel, and maybe a little gift inside that bag as well.
Yes, sir.
But ogsportsporch@gmail.com. Just send me your address. I promise you, once I send you the gear, I delete the email, and then I go into my deleted folder and I delete my deleted emails.
That's really important these days.
It is important. What I want to know is there a deleted folder?
I think
Absolutely.
all you get is 2. No, I think you get 2.
Well, we get access to 2.
I'm sure.
Where are the rest?
I'm sure
of the
there's
deletion?
a documentary somewhere that will tell you how to actually permanently delete.
That's a good one. All right, Steel City Draft Gear, the giveaway. Best comment of the night. HJ and Curtis are going to combine on that. You got to keep an eye on the comments for me there, Steve.
I'm all over it. See, Marvin's already in the house.
There is Marvin. Hey, Marvin, listen. OG@sportsporch@gmail.com, the email that's on the screen. You won. Oh, got Mike Lawrence got mine, wearing it proudly.
There you
Martin,
go, Mike.
last week you won the best comment, so make sure you email us right now. One more reminder to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button on YouTube. We're trying to grow that YouTube channel. It grows in fits and spurts, you know. We'll get 10 in a week, then we'll get 1, then we'll get 15 in a week, then we'll get 1. So we want it up there right now. If you're on X, go over to YouTube. Go over there. Just hit the subscribe button. Okay, enough of that. HJ's getting tired of hearing me. This is what I want to go to.
I never get tired of listening to you, Chris.
Steelers. I know you're not a good.
I'm trying to turn over. Mark's not here this week. He's got to go get some pan pizza somewhere in Chicago or something.
He's eating at Ruth's Chris. Or
whatever. He's out. He's out
at Morton's. Harry Carey's Steakhouse.
He's not a Morton's guy.
No
way.
Welcome, Mark Schwab, the Harry Carey Steakhouse.
Anyway,
I think Mark's going to have the bone-in ribeye. Steve, do you like meat with the bone in?
No, that would be you. You definitely like the bone in.
Yeah. Hey, look who's back. Brad Trombley is back.
Hey, Brad, long time no here.
Brad's been around a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's hung out. He prefers to hang out with Hockey Jesus.
Okay.
I think he's a big hockey fan.
Oh yeah,
right?
Brad and I, we're text buddies sometimes.
Go way back.
Definitely during the hockey season.
Yeah. So Brad,
and when there's breaking news.
Brad, for just for your benefit, because you're coming back here, and I was actually thinking about you the other day, Brad. I was wondering where you went, and I thought he'll be back soon, and lo and behold, there he is.
Well, he's in Minnesota. It's always
cold.
It's the time of the year where there's a lot of sunshine.
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of these days in
Minnesota. Brad, you gotta put a comment up and try to get this giveaway, this draft gear stuff. SteelCityDraftGear.com. We're partnering with them heading into that draft in April. We're getting a jump on it before this exciting season starts. And speaking of this exciting season, we did have our first preseason game Saturday night. And the Steelers,
is that what that was?
It was a Saturday night. The Steelers, they did win. What was it, 31-25 or 35-21?
It was like 31-25.
Yeah. And
I'm looking at it right here.
Look, we know you watched it, okay? Don't be embarrassed.
That's 31-25.
All right? It's okay to watch preseason football. All right? What's not okay in my book is to think that the first game especially has a lot of meaning. For example, Caleb Johnson didn't look that great. Okay? Big deal. It's not, just hear me out on this.
I'm listening.
It's not a matter of can Caleb Johnson or your rookie stud running back, pile on a 60-yard touchdown. I mean, who wouldn't want to say that?
I mean,
right.
It's nice.
What it's about is getting timing down, cadence down, following the blocks, understanding the formation. It's an NFL offense. It's your first time on the field. Take nothing away from the fact that Caleb Johnson, did okay. I mean, he didn't do great. He didn't do bad. I think there's one pass he dropped or something.
He started the run before he actually caught the ball.
Right. So we want to know what your takeaways from this are. Okay. What are your takeaways from this first preseason game? Because I know you couldn't help yourself. I know you couldn't. I know you had to watch it. I bet Curtis did not watch it, though.
I did not watch it.
No, we got to get you on the football train, man.
Yeah.
You got to start watching it.
I'm almost there. Now.
I'm almost there.
I'm almost. I'm clearing my plate.
You gotta.
I'm hanging out with you guys a lot.
Okay,
now.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get you there.
I'll be
get you
chiming
there.
in a lot.
Almost there.
We'll bribe you.
We got to get you the whole way.
with food. We'll bribe you with food.
Got
Absolutely.
to get you over that Hawkeye line.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So,
yes, sir.
Your comments on the Steelers-Jags game. Mason Rudolph started the game. Skylar Thompson finished the game. Will Howard obviously out for an extended period. Is he out for the season?
Well,
it's extended.
He fractured his pinky on his throwing hand.
Yeah, that sucks.
And according to Tomlin, it's not a big deal. Like he could be back before the end of preseason.
Right.
But let's face it, you don't want him to throw with a broken pinky if he doesn't have to.
No. I mean,
and he's a rookie too, so you don't want to throw him out there, in a game like that. I think it's better just to let it heal. That's the way I feel about it. I was everybody who listened to the podcast last week knows we were all pretty excited about getting to see him out there on the field. And I think maybe 30 seconds after we dropped the podcast, it was like, he broke his finger. It was the next day, I believe. But this is what happens. Injuries happen. If the Steelers are going to have an injury, I would rather it be Will Howard than TJ Watt.
Yeah, well, of course. And I don't think Will Howard is in the plan this year. I mean, we know how the Steelers operate.
He's not.
And if anything, he was going to be the third string backup no matter what. Rudolph has proven that he's a quarterback in the NFL.
He still will be the third quarterback.
Yes, I agree.
It just you'd like to see him play in the preseason because there's this hype about what a great percentage passer he is.
Right.
Not a bad arm.
Right.
He's got good instincts. You'd rather see that on the field than just leave it up to, well, I guess we're going to have to wait till next year.
Yeah. And I used to put a lot of stock in preseason games when they played them differently.
Yeah.
When you would see, you remember back in the day that in preseason, and back in the day, I'm talking about in the 80s, those guys played almost every preseason game. Most of the game. They might sit out the fourth quarter.
You're right. They would play almost the whole last preseason game.
Yeah.
Now there are only 3, so it's a little bit different now.
So give me your takeaways.
You already hit on one. You wanted to see Caleb Johnson get out there and just run people over. I was a little taken aback by his style of running. He looked like at times he was afraid to just run into people. He had that stutter step when you first get started, which is never good for a running back in the NFL.
Yes.
You want to see a running back just run right up into the hole, whether there's a hole there or not. Maybe one forms and he can hit the hole when it does form. And if it doesn't, he's got to bang off of some big bodies and it hurts. But he didn't do that. So I don't know I don't know why that was, and I'm not going to even try and speculate. But I was a little disappointed to see that. There were minus the fourth down run. I thought he did do well on third. He had a run on 3rd and 3 where he got 4 yards, and he looked really good on that run. So I think he has it. He just didn't show it, and I think you're right. I think it's because he's a rookie. He doesn't really know how to do that quite yet.
Right.
I don't think his instincts are, obviously the best yet, but I think he can form them. I'm not that worried about it. But I was a little worried about his form of running. I didn't expect to see a lot of that stutter step stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I thought he had good speed though. When he wanted to get to the outside, I think he could get to the outside. That was different.
I think that the stutter step is more, he's learning how to read the blocks,
I think you can't stutter to read a block in the NFL.
No, what I'm saying is that he's not right. I agree, but that you can't put a whole lot of stock in that. You rework it through camp and then a joint practice. And it's kind of like, it's called recognizing the holes.
For sure.
And he might have been having a little trouble. And that's
he
why
definitely was having trouble.
That's why there was a stutter step. Once he learns, if he has good vision and he learns how to recognize those holes, at that split second,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have that stutter step.
Right.
I agree. So
hey, Elton's already ready to go to the Super Bowl.
yeah, stairway to 7.
I'm with you, Elton. I mean, I'm right there with you. But it is one preseason game. But hey, we're undefeated, so let's go with that.
Yeah, Mike Lawrence says preseason right means little or nothing. They did score 31 points. I think the average for winning teams is between 28 and 31. Can this continue? And you know what?
Well, if they play Jacksonville every week, I think it could.
Well, and you can't answer that question. It's a preseason game. It's not the starting quarterback.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't our starting quarterback either. It's always the give and take of, well, how do you analyze this? But here's the way I analyze it. There are a couple players that I was really excited. And it's not that what they did necessarily, it's how they were used.
Right.
Roman Wilson, Scotty Miller, I think they were used interchangeably. But what I liked about their patterns were they weren't 5-yard slant patterns. They were 15 to 18 yards down the field and in. You haven't seen that in a very long time
it has
with
been
the
quite
Steelers
a while.
offense. That has happened, and it's happened over the middle of the field. How many times in the past 3 years have we said, when are they going to throw the damn ball over the middle of the field?
I get countless.
And then when they did, it was like a 3-yard pass, a 5-yard pass. It was a dump off to the running back. But that is not the way this offense has shown that they want to run this offense. And I love the fact that those two guys, which means CA3, are going to play that role. And I love it. I think that's great. The other thing that I noticed just as a team building experience, the Steelers did have some drives where they got penalties, and they were not only able to overcome them, they still got touchdowns out of those drives.
Yes.
Remember in the past when if you got a holding penalty or if you got a illegal hands to the face penalty, that was it. The drive was over. There was nothing that was going to happen. So I love that they had some resilience in the offense that allowed that to happen. So I'm pretty excited about the offense. The one thing I did notice on the defense that I don't, once again, it's because probably the personnel that were on the defensive side, they didn't really get much pressure on the quarterback. I was very surprised. The Steelers' defense of the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years has been, you got to get to the quarterback because if the quarterback gets enough time, he'll torch the secondary. That's not really been the case in the one preseason game that we've seen, but. Definitely, I think it's going to be a change where I think they're going to be not patient about rushing the quarterback. They still want to get to the quarterback, but I think that they have more. How do I say this? They believe in their cornerbacks. They believe in their coverage, and they feel like they can get more coverage sacks than they need to get to the quarterback right away. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and again, defense for me, you had very few starters or even potential starters starting on defense. I mean, you're talking about, Beanie Bishop started, and there's a question as to whether or not he'll make the team.
He played really well.
Yeah, they did say, he did play well, but
who's the defensive guy that we were making fun of, who probably isn't going to play, the safety that they picked up.
Thornhill.
Yeah, Thornhill. He had a great hit in the first drive against Jacksonville. Maybe it was the second one, but he really broke up a play that was the Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah,
and he hit him hard, and it was a clean hit, which I love. I thought that looked good.
They're actually saying that that he's probably got a spot on the team. So
they already said that Slay's got a little bit of a boo-boo going on, so an ankle injury. So
a boo-boo.
Yeah, he's got a boo-boo.
NFL term.
He's got a boo-boo on his ankle. So yeah, they're definitely going to need him.
I've got a boo-boo on my ego.
And they're going to need Beanie too. I mean, I think they're going to need all those guys. The guys that they have in the secondary aren't spring chickens.
Now, Marvin is saying, I like what he did to Travis Hunter. Who's he talking about? The stiff arm?
Yeah, the stiff arm.
Yeah. And CD is in the house.
I mean, Travis Hunter's a small guy.
Yeah. The doctor says, where's Schwab on the day after a nice Mount Washington TD and dunk? We're going to talk about that in a second. CD said, like Peyton Wilson with the green dot this year, that showed well. Plus, let's let Queen fly around. So again, you're playing a base defense for the most part. It's really getting your sea legs. That first preseason game for a lot of these guys.
Nice to see Holcomb out there too after a nasty knee
after
injury.
that horrible knee injury. I mean, I
didn't light it up, but at least he was out there getting back on the field.
What I love, and so Curtis, for your benefit here, and this is Curtis from SteelCityDraftGear.com. Go there right now. Get some NFL draft swag or Steel City draft swag for the NFL draft in Pittsburgh in April. Use the promo code Porch, Steel City draftgear.com. So, and I totally forgot my point. Yeah. I don't know. I got on a sales pitch and I totally forgot my point. What was I talking about?
Man,
who was I going off on?
I don't know.
Somebody remind me.
Somebody spitting out forearms. I don't know.
No. Oh yeah. Darnell Washington.
Washington in the dunk.
The Steelers a couple years ago drafted this guy, Darnell Washington, who is literally a probably one of the largest humans ever, and he's a tight end.
Okay,
as big as Eric Green anyway.
Yeah, he's huge. And I have been saying since they drafted him, because he's also got some skills. He's not just like a big guy lumbering down the field. He can run, he can leap, he can catch the ball, he can block. These guys aren't believers. Don't listen to what they're saying.
Okay.
And I've been saying he's a big target in the red zone. You should use him all the time. Finally, the first touchdown pass is a 19-yard pass from Mason Rudolph to Darnell Washington in the preseason. Let's bring him into the game. They're going to be using him most likely on the left side to help Roderick Jones.
That touchdown pass is caught by Jonnu Smith. You know it.
Well, I don't know that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a Jonnu Smith pattern.
Well, that is not a Mount Washington.
Injured. Yeah,
because if he get injured, they're gonna be like, "I told you so."
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's every play. You know, that's every. I mean, hell, I could get injured sitting right here.
Right.
You know, not that bad.
But no, it was a nice play. You know.
And I was just happy to see that happen because, and I'm disappointed that I forgot that Schwaber wasn't going to be here because I was going to jam that down his throat.
There's always
he's probably watching right now.
There's
Schwaber,
next week.
Mount Washington, #1 tight end, Hall of Fame. You heard it here first.
And you know what he would be saying right now? Great 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, I mean, I think overall, what I did see of the highlights, and again, guys, I was working and it's preseason, so I'm picking up highlights and reading the articles. The most important thing for me was that the offensive line graded out pretty decently. That they seem to be working well.
I agree. And that was after
that's the key.
Broderick Jones supposedly has not been having a good camp, and then he comes in and he was lined up against a guy on the right end who's pretty good, and the guy was never really in anybody's face all night. So and they only played. I think they only played like 3 series. Yeah. So let's let's temper that. But hey, when he was in there, he didn't allow a sack. So
that's key.
I think that's good. I do agree that that's good. They did pick up another guard this past week.
Yeah, former Pro Bowler. Yep.
But that probably means Sayamalu's not doing too well.
Yeah, I don't know if it means that, to be honest with you, or that they realize that their depth is lacking, and maybe there's somebody on the back end on special teams, that they're, I know what you're looking at. The CD says 70-yard field goal, 1,000 NFL points. For those of you out there, we're in a fantasy football league together. And for years, there's been collusion between family members because every year a family member seems to win. And it's all part of the Hockey Jesus family. And I believe that
sounds like some jealousy.
I believe at some point,
for
now,
champions,
it's turning to rage now, but
jealousy for champions.
I believe at some point they conspired because field goals at one point in that league were 11 points. I mean,
no, they were more than that. They were like 19 points.
Or really? Like a 55-yard field goal?
Oh, like I think a 60-yard field goal at one point was easily 15 points.
It's 2 touchdowns, I mean, come on, man.
Well, I mean, anyway, back in the day, if you kicked a 60-yard field goal, you were like a god.
Yeah. Mike Lawrence, do you guys know what was up with Tomlin's press conference? No questions. How'd you feel about that?
I felt like it felt like a COVID situation all over again. Like, why didn't they have people in there asking questions? It didn't make any sense. Maybe everybody left for the bars already. I don't know. That was I agree, Mike. That was really bizarre. It just didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense at all why they would do that. I mean, even Tomlin needs, a little bit of practice for what's coming.
I don't think he needs practice at all.
No, you don't think so?
No.
I think he does. He's always got some new sayings he's got to roll out. Don't you think? I think so.
Well, I mean, I don't think he rehearsed. I think they just come out. I think it's part of who he is.
You think so?
His Tomlinisms. Yeah, I've seen him talk enough. And then when he had that interview with what's his face, Chris Canty or whatever, what was that dude's name? Whatever. When he had that interview and he asked him about the Tomlinisms, and then he answered with Tomlinisms, I was like, it's just the way the guy talks. So recapping, Skylar Thompson, 20 of 28 for 233 yards with 3 touchdowns. He was sacked once for 6 yards. Mason Rudolph, 9 out of 10 for 84 yards and a touchdown. I mean, look, all, Aaron Rodgers talk aside, what's the offense going to look like aside, you basically had 29 out of 38 for 301 yards and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions from the quarterback position in this game. Yeah. I'll take that every game. I'll take that every single game.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you're never disappointed with that kind of production from your quarterback.
Right. And again, it means nothing. It's preseason. These guys are most likely not even going to see the field this year if Rodgers goes on if Rodgers goes on a tear.
Dude, Mason's going to play some. I mean, there's no way Rodgers is going to make it through the whole year.
Probably not.
Without some kind of ailment.
Some notables in the receiving core. Scotty Miller had 4 receptions for 47 yards with a long of 22 on 4 targets. Roman Wilson.
Yeah, most of that was with the main with
Rudolph. Yeah, Roman Wilson, two catches for 24 yards. Long and 19 on 2 targets. So, the throws were on point and he didn't miss them.
Right.
A lot of people are looking for Scotty Miller and especially Roman Wilson to step up and somehow be that number 2/3 receiver that we seem to can't find. I mean, I know everybody wants to be Calvin Austin, but I'm not a Calvin Austin fan when it comes to that.
This is where you have that wrong. You don't need to be a Calvin Austin fan.
Oh, I don't?
No, because there are 3 Calvin Austins on this team. I think they just proved it. Between Scotty Miller, Calvin Austin III, and Roman Wilson, all these guys are interchangeable.
Right.
And if one guy goes down, you're not going to miss a beat.
Well, that's probably true.
I think the one thing we did learn is Robert Woods is probably done.
Yeah, I know. I will never understand why the Steelers try to resurrect these dudes that have names for like the locker room presence.
Yeah, and because they won Super Bowls and nobody else in that locker room knows what it's like to win a playoff game, let alone a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Who did he win a Super Bowl with? The Rams?
Yeah.
Was it the Rams?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
I mean, and he was actually very relevant back then when they did win. So that's why they do it, because they don't have any veteran guy with playoff experience really when it comes down to it.
Okay.
So there you have it. Your takeaways from the Steelers game, first preseason game. If I was to grade the game overall, and I'm not grading the performance of everybody because I think we've already gone over this, I would grade the game as an A, because I think what happened is Arthur Smith has some new toys to play with.
Yeah, it's the second year of his offense. He seems like he's fine-tuning it very well.
He opened up the playbook and he let guys like Rudolph and Skylar Thompson play. And we got a little bit of a preview of the freedom that they're going to have here in throwing it, over the middle. So, I give the game an A just from the standpoint of it looked different than the last 3 seasons, preseason games, which looked horrible, except for that little, Kenny Pickett blow up there, where everybody thought, oh my God, he's Joe Montana for about 4 weeks.
Marvin, you are right. I think Calvin Austin III does have the size of a Devonta Smith. Unfortunately,
I think he's shorter.
He doesn't have the talent.
Yeah, but he's also shorter.
Not by much. Devonta Smith is really small. I mean, like weight wise, he probably weighs $190.
Yeah.
He is not a big person.
But I don't think it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that's the kind of guy you want from that position. I mean, clearly Devonta Smith is much more talented. I'm not even trying to equate
absolutely.
it to. Two musings from the game, just in general.
Go for
it. For the game. There were two new things that the NFL is trying out, that Hawkeye. Finally, they listened to us when I said, why the hell do we still have people with chains going out there trying to measure the damn ball? They finally are using some technology that exists for probably 20 years now. And way to go, NFL. You finally got into the digital era. I'm so proud of you. They put up this Hawkeye system, which is basically 8 cameras that triangulates where the ball is. And you can actually see how many yards/inches it takes to get to the first down now. Congratulations on that. Second, they did revamp a little bit on the kickoff. Now you still have to hit the zone, but if you do kick it into the end zone, it's not the 30-yard line now, it's the 35-yard line. So you're starting to see more kickers not kick it into the end zone because that 5 yards, it makes a little bit of a difference. It definitely made a difference. Well, I guess it didn't make a difference on the 70-yard field goal because they actually ran that one back. But I think that could be very interesting. If you can get a good returner, that you might be able to have a returner that gets it out to the 40, 45. That's a significant advantage for the offense, especially with an offense. You make a 25-yard completion, you're in field goal range after one play. So I think that's going to come into play more than you think. And I think I'm looking forward to see how NFL teams deal with that. Before they were like, we don't care if it's on the 30. We're still kicking it in the end zone. I bet you're going to see a lot more returns now. So,
well, they want that.
Yeah,
they wanted to try to limit the.
Trying to bring that big play back.
Yeah, they wanted to limit the injuries, but that play needs to be exciting. It's the most exciting play in football.
It can be, yeah, for sure, no doubt about that. So I'm keeping my eye on that. Maybe it'll end up being nothing, but I'm glad they're at least tweaking that because last year I thought. Really, they just kicked it in the end zone anyways. It didn't really gain anything other than there weren't a lot of collisions.
Yoho-san is back on YouTube. Thanks for being here, Yoho-san. How about that 70-yard field goal?
We should talk about that for at least a second. It was pretty exciting.
That's long.
It was, and it probably could have been 72 or 75. It had some space.
I mean,
what do you think? Do you think that should be a record?
No, it wasn't in the regular season.
It isn't, but why not?
Look, if Mason Rudolph had thrown for 785 yards, it's preseason. Do you think that should be in the record books?
Well, it should be for preseason.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. If they have preseason records, then obviously, but it shouldn't be the longest field goal.
I guess it's probably not as much pressure to the preseason. Let's face it.
Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
You're not going to be cut because it's a 70-yard field goal.
And I don't know if you were watching this closely enough, but the way that happened was pretty bizarre. It looked like the time expired. It was halftime. Everybody was walking in, and then it was like, oh no, there's still 1 second left. Of course, there's 1 second left. So they were like, oh, why not kick a field goal?
What
Charlie Batch was literally laughing as the guy who was going out there to kick it.
Yeah,
I was like, Charlie, you're about to eat your words.
Apparently, Jacksonville says this guy has an absolute cannon.
If he doesn't make their team, he's clearly making something.
70 yards straight.
I hear Baltimore needs a kicker.
They've needed a kicker for a little while now. All right, subscribe.
He's in jail, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. But he probably
allegedly. Allegedly,
he's done some questionable things. Subscribe to us on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. Just go there, hit the subscribe button down in the bottom of the screen, then click that notification button because then you'll know when we're live every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, on X, and on Facebook. And you can always grab the podcast right after the show on Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. I'm going to drop it right after the show. We got Curtis back in the house from SteelCityDraftGear.com. We are actually wearing Steel City Draft Gear right now. In case you haven't heard, the NFL draft is in Pittsburgh in April, and this season's going to go fast. And after the Steelers collect their Super Bowl rings, they're going to be drafting for a new quarterback to win a Super Bowl next year. It's not my prediction. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
It could be. I mean, anything's possible. It is a draft.
So come get your latest drip, whatever. Come get your stuff. Come get your stuff.
Draft
right here. You can register for a giveaway. Give us your email address on the website at theporcheslive.com. You can register now, and we're gonna have some. We got a new fan club coming up. We're calling it the Inside Scoop. I think we'll debut that on next week's podcast because I'll have the mechanism set up.
Okay.
But if you have the best comment tonight, you're going to get that draft bag, that draft towel, and maybe another little special thing. I know Martin.
You cannot be a repeat winner.
Marvin Hamilton says he sent his address, but I'm still looking at our email and I don't see it. So Marvin, ogsportsporch@gmail.com. Go ahead and send your address to us there. I don't have it. He said he sent it. Maybe he messaged us on Facebook. But anyway.
You definitely don't know how to do that.
We do have to talk about this. Okay. We have to talk about this.
As long as it's not the Pirates.
It's not. This is the Cam Hayward Odyssey. Okay. And I've heard.
Well, now Boswell's in on this.
I know. But let's stick to Cam for now.
All right. I didn't.
So you know who Cam Hayward is, right? Plays for the Steel. We're gonna look. There's gonna be a study session. You're gonna hang out with
homework.
him. Yeah, you're gonna hang out with him. Okay. So Cam Hayward, all-pro tackle on the Steelers, signed defensive tackle.
That's for Curtis.
Drafted 31st overall in 2010 or 11. First couple years iffy. After that, came into his own, all-pro player, basically legendary Steelers defensive lineman who has not won a Super Bowl. Okay. Wow. He signs a 2-year contract extension last year. He has basically I gotta get this up here. I've missed a few episodes, but the Grand Schwabini sure looks different tonight. Yes. We've taken care of Yoho son.
The
Grand Schwabini is in Chicago. Okay, this is the Grand Schwabini's fill-in, and I think he's actually doing a much better job. Be honest with you. What is this here? Wild Herb Ways. Black Justice is triple Cam's salary from 14.5 to 41 million to equal what? Becoming obvious Cam is showing mental decline CTE. We don't him to drink antifreeze like Terry Long. I don't get that comment.
Well, Terry Long definitely had some CTE back in the day.
Yeah.
I get where that's coming from. Not exactly sure who Black Justice is, but basically I think what the point that's being made is that the guy once paid way too much money, and maybe he is having some CTE issues by thinking he deserves more.
I think it's ridiculous to even blame it on that. I think what it is he signed an extension and he had an all-pro year that nobody expected him to have. And then a bunch of guys like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, some other interior linemen have signed some great big, for them, mega deals, and now he wants paid.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem with what Cam's doing. Okay. A couple of years ago, he said, I'll take the money. And remember, we said that's too long. What the money they gave him was too long. He should have bet on himself. If he thought he was going to have such a damn good season,
you're right.
He should have just said, okay, I'll play the one season out and we'll see what happens.
You're right.
Now he would be making probably another 5 to 10 million more a year.
You're right.
But because he wanted the money and he wanted the guaranteed money when he wanted it, he's shit out of luck. I'm sorry, Cam, but you can't play both ways.
Yeah.
And that's what he's trying to do. And as a Steeler fan, it makes me irate. It just doesn't. Why do we let these players do this to us? He's been a great player for us. He hasn't won very many playoff games. I think he only was in one, and he didn't even really play in that one that they did win. But the reality is, you can't have it both ways, Cam.
No, I
just
agree.
Get your pads on and get out there. No, he doesn't actually have to practice. He knows what the defensive schemes are. Mm-hmm. If he wants to sit, just say, I want to sit. I need a break from this. I'm an old guy. I want to make it through the season. I would respect that more than I need more money. And the reality is he's already got paid his money. Yeah, because
it was signing bonus.
It was a big signing bonus. So he's probably complaining because he's only getting paid $1 more million for the rest of the year, and that $29 million or whatever that he already pocketed. Who knows what he did with it?
Yeah.
But that's ridiculous. What he's doing is ridiculous. Same with Boswell. I love Bos. I think he's great. Could have broken the record last year if the offense didn't get better for NFL kickers. But Bos, just get out there and kick field goals. You'll get your money, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I know. It seems to get a little ridiculous. My feelings on it are: you signed a 2-year deal last year. You begged for your money last year. I use the word beg, lightly.
They were going to give it to him.
You demanded another contract and higher money. You had a great year, which is part of your job. But when you get paid $14 million for a year, and now you're watching everybody else, it's bearing fruit. Their salaries are going up, and contracts and guaranteed money's going up. And now you want to sit out. And now he actually today it said that he would entertain the idea of sitting out a regular season game. Well, which I don't think is going to happen, but
judging from what Yaya did, I don't think we're going to miss him that much.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yoho Son said he Scottie Pippened himself.
Yeah,
that could be a good one.
Scottie Pippen did.
That could be a good one.
That's like a Flitchism right there. I love it.
Yoho Son he's vying for the gift bag. He's vying for the giveaway right now.
He could be taking the lead with that one.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot, with this hold in, which I think. Do you know what a hold in is, Curtis?
No.
Okay, so you know what a holdout is.
Yes.
They got a contract. They want a new contract. They don't show up to camp.
Right.
A hold in is they show up to camp. They participate in everything but actual camp.
Oh,
really? They go to the training room.
Right.
They stretch. They hang out. They talk to the media. But they don't put on the pads.
Yes, they don't actually go out on the
all
field.
The bells and whistles, but no salt.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
That's it.
Look. Okay, you work somewhere. Let's say, okay, everybody knows I work at Trader Joe's.
Okay,
I want to get paid more money. Now, this is not true. It's an example. And I tell Trader Joe's, I'm not coming into work till you pay more money. What's going to happen?
They're going to let you go.
Yeah, I'm going to get fired. Now,
no, they're going to let you sit around, collect a paycheck.
Well, right. What I'm saying is, now I don't provide the entertainment value that an NFL football player provides. Right. So I get it. But what do you think would happen if I showed up to work, clocked in, and then said, I'm just going to stand here until you pay me more money?
Well, just walk through the aisles and talk to the guests.
Yeah. I mean, they'd be like, get out.
Get out.
Get out. I mean, that's what I don't understand. I get the hold out. Okay. Right. You're a cog in this wheel. You're an important cog in this machine. You're a big time player. You want more money. I'm not showing up till we have negotiations. Right. Showing up, now you're a distraction. Right. And I don't agree with that at all.
I don't think he's a distraction. Come on. He's a veteran. Everybody respects what he's doing.
I think
I'm happy because he's giving more play to the guys that they drafted who are going to take his position eventually, and they're performing great. So I'm perfectly happy with what's going on right now. Honestly, I think it's good. I think it's good.
Yeah, I don't. They'll make you sing, taste the biscuits. I don't know what CD's talking.
I think he's on some sassafras that Yoho Son gave him.
Yeah, probably. I don't agree with it at all. I think, like, first of all, I'm a contract guy. You signed a contract, perform the contract. Okay, but
I think he's talking about TJ's, by the
way. The fact that you're going to hold out because you want more money, I guess I understand that. He's a distraction because the media attention is about Cam Hayward. He's just naturally a distraction because he's there and he's holding in and he's continuing to bellyache about wanting to get what's his.
And I see your point.
All I can think about is, like, look, dude, you got $12 million last year to play football. Now, I know you pocketed probably half of that, all right? But you got $6 million to play football. You got yours.
Right.
I mean, you did. You got yours. I understand the market. So sure, but I'm just like, you signed the contract, play again great this year and whatever. So,
hey, it worked for him, last year. Why not try it again this year?
Yeah. Well, and look, the players, they hold the teams hostage for this kind of stuff because the fans want Hayward to be in a uniform. They want to see him play. And the teammates want him to be there. He wants to get his money. Who's going to fill in for him? And it's a distraction. So I disagree with it. What do you guys think about?
That's who's going to fill in.
You mean YA Black? That's how they say it. YA Black.
No, it's Yaya. I'm going with Yaya.
Okay, you can call him whatever you want. I don't care. I don't.
You
care.
can call him YA Tittle if you want. I don't care.
Tomato.
I'm calling him Yaya.
All right. Subscribe to the Sports Porch Black and Gold Edition on YouTube. Please go there right now. Hit the subscribe button. It's really easy. And then click that notifications. And every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, your phone will tell you that the best sports show on YouTube is on now.
Be part of the movement.
Be part of the movement. Win some damn playoffs. You might get more money. That's what Yoho's son says. And then, of course, we have Curtis here from SteelCityDraftGear.com. Get your Steel City Draft Gear early and often. Go to SteelCityDraftGear.com. Use the promo code Porch for 5% off. We're giving away this stuff right here. Curtis is holding up the hat. We're giving away this draft bag, this draft towel, and possibly a shirt tonight or an extra thing. All you got to do is leave a comment, and we'll get you there. All right, I'm going to do one thing from the Pirates, and this is
I got a question for you.
Go for it, man.
Have you guys ever? I mean, I know the ladies support their men on the sports channels. Have you ever done anything for the ladies?
I mean, I feel like I've done a lot for the ladies.
I mean, that's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah.
Is that a loaded question?
Yeah. He knew exactly where I was going with that. Yeah.
So I'm like kind of brainstorming. You know, part of our next giveaway is let's do something. Let's do something in pink.
Something in pink.
Something in pink, specifically for the ladies.
Pretty in pink.
Pretty in pink, or we can do real men wear pink as well. But
yeah, no,
I want to do something for the ladies.
I like pink.
I'm nixing the real men with a pink thing. Yeah, and unless he wants to wear it, he'll wear it. So yeah,
we're gonna come up with something for the ladies.
You're damn right. I'll wear pink.
And let's see how much of the buy-in when we highlight the ladies on the show.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
let's see what. Yeah, you could look really good to your lady if you get that. You know, in your hand or that kind of stuff.
That pretty in pink. I mean,
that's all part of my.
And look, it'll be in the backpack, but it'll probably be like a pink T-shirt, a pink hoodie.
Yeah,
like that.
There you go.
Yeah, one of the popular designs.
Yeah, Steve was about to go down a road that yeah, we're not going down that.
No,
road.
we're not going there.
Hey, I'm happy to go down that feminism road anytime you want to go down it, Chris.
I'm not talking about feminism. I'm not talking about that at all.
You want to go down the pink road.
I lost my train of thought completely now. Okay,
that's because you were about to talk about the Pirates, which nobody wants to talk about.
Go to the website, theporcheslive.com, sign up for our email list. We're not going to sell your list to anybody ever, but we're going to have a newsletter coming out. We're going to have merch stuff. It's the Inside Scoop Fan Club, opinions and that. And we can't wait to get that. We do have a bunch of people that have signed up over the last few months, and hopefully we'll be getting more. So
Pat Off Track finally joined us.
Where is Pat Off Track? Let's get Pat Off Track in here. Sorry, Pat. I'm late. Please send Kelly a draft swag.
That's a great idea.
It is, but Kelly's an old friend of ours. She lives in Seattle. I got to get her address. I don't know her address anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look her up on the Google.
Maybe Pat knows her address. Maybe he's been.
I hope not
with her. Yeah,
that would be a little spooky.
All right, Pirates. Here's what I want to do on the Pirates.
The Pirates.
Yes, the Pirates. I want to know this. I'm going to put this graphic up. This is courtesy of North Shore 9. They're an Instagram Pittsburgh sports thing.
They're not a bad outfit.
No, I like them.
They're one of the basement podcasts.
Right.
Congratulations.
Right. And
we want to partner.
We stick together. Absolutely. So his average since June, 187, on base 263, slugging 330. WRC, what is that?
Yeah, right. Like you're going to ask me statistics about baseball.
His WAR is 0.1. Listen, I know I don't know what his arbitration or contract situation is. I really don't. But this is what I'm going to tell you guys right now. You heard it here 3 years ago. You heard it here. And you know, we give credit where credit's due. If you had heard it from HJ, if you had heard it from the Grand Schwabini, if Curtis had been here back then and paid attention to baseball and heard it from him, you would hear it. I told you this guy sucks. Okay. He sucks. All right. Now, when I say sucks, I don't want to get emails and messages that say, well, you go out there and play baseball. Yes, he's a better baseball player than me.
Congratulations.
All right? Yes, he's a much better athlete than I am. And he looks like he's a really nice guy. I mean, he's got a great smile.
Better than Cal Ripken Jr.?
No, he's got a great smile. He's a nice kid. He sucks. He's not the answer. Okay. If he was the answer, he would not have. And I know he hits the ball 500 feet. All right. And
he's got great MPH off the bat.
Right. And he's got incredible exit velocity. And it's a joy to watch any baseball
launch angles, perfect.
Crush it. Right. It's a joy to see home runs like that. But that's not winning baseball. And he obviously doesn't play the field well at all. And that's not completely his fault. That's the Pirates'
he was
fault.
a shortstop.
Yeah, he was at shortstop and he wasn't that great. And then they put him in center field and we all know what happened.
Still can't get those ground balls in center field.
Look, in my book, at 26, parts of 5 seasons in the major leagues, I don't even know at this point if I'm willing to give him another year, but he's terrible.
You don't have to because he's getting one.
Yeah, I know he is. And we do have a comment here. O'Neal Cruz is the best Irish Latino on my side of this fence. What's Pat Off Track saying? What is he?
Not in Mexico.
Oh, okay. What? What's an Irish Latino? Oh, O'Neal Cruz. All right.
You're catching up to Pat.
I know. Somehow. So we want to know your thoughts. Is it time to give up on O'Neal Cruz, and what would that look like?
Well, here's why you don't give up on O'Neal Cruz. I'll just play devil's advocate.
Please.
Because, we know who the real devil is, but I'm just playing the advocate this time.
Okay.
I don't think we need to rehash that conversation.
Right.
Anyway.
We will at some point.
Yeah, at some point we will. But
yeah,
he's the best entertainment value we have.
That's true.
And it's not about winning games when it comes to the Pirates. It's about entertainment value. When you run out of Snoopy drones, when you run out of bobblehead giveaways, you have to have somebody on the field who, for at least 3 days during a day stand, anytime they're playing at home, he's got to be on the field because he's the best chance at entertainment that we have that's not baseball. We do have a very good baseball player, but he's a pitcher, so he's only out there once every 5 games, and sometimes he doesn't even get to pitch during a homestand, which is disappointing. But that's what happens, when your best player that's a real baseball player is a pitcher. And, he's probably not going to be around for more than another year.
I hope not.
So what's the theory? Winning games or entertainment?
It's about making money when you're Bob Nutting.
Oh, okay. I needed clarity.
Yep, that's it. And for him, he doesn't have real baseball players, so he needs baseball players who are entertainers.
Okay.
In this case, O'Neal Cruz can launch a home run at any time into the river, and that's why he's still going to be part of it.
They're not going to start dancing, are they?
No, they're not going. They're not going. They're not going to go full blown Savannah Bananas.
Okay. No, and that's what.
If they could, they would, Curtis.
That's what Yoho's son just said. I told y'all you need the boy on stilts from Banana Ball.
You ain't wrong.
That might be the winning one right there.
You ain't wrong, Yoho.
That might be the winning one right there. One more thing on the Pirates. Do you now? It's come out, and I love how the media in this town is so starving for like a sports culture again. And I think next week or the week after, right? I'm gonna have a little bit of a we'll call it like a Bill O'Reilly memo. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it's a memo.
Hey, I love Bill
about
O'Reilly.
Sports culture. In
you
Pittsburgh.
had me with Bill O'Reilly.
I know I did, and it's no
spin here.
In the media this past week, somebody said that they had heard from a source that the Pirates had reached out to Paul Skeens about signing an extension. And then it got totally conflated into this, like they're talking to him. Are they talking to him? Maybe they're talking to him. Maybe they're not talking to him.
They offered him $250 million.
I mean, right. Do you believe the Pirates are actually trying to sign Skeens to a deal now?
No, and never.
Right.
It's really simple.
I think they tried.
Too much.
I think they tried.
Maybe they did ask him. Like I said, I think I said this last week. Hey, do you want to play for $10 million next year?
Yeah.
And he said, no,
no,
and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it was a pretty easy negotiation.
I don't
He probably didn't even have to get his, his boss in charge of it. Livy knew right away that would be a no.
Yeah. Pat off track, Curtis. It's about bobbleheads, and this club needs a We Are Family vibe.
Yeah, they definitely need a Willie Star joke first.
Yeah, they do. They do. It is about bobbleheads now. And
Or a cobra.
He did actually nail that. That's their whole thing. Are we going to do a little Penguins hockey right now? Because you had asked about that last week.
I would like to talk a little bit about the hockey situation in Pittsburgh.
Let's do that right after you guys subscribe to the Sports Porch podcast on YouTube at the Sports Porch podcast and on X at Sports Porch 1. And you can always listen to the podcast right after the show on Spotify, iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. Go to steelcitydraftgear.com. Use the promo code PORCH for 5% off on all your Pittsburgh draft gear. Curtis is showing you the towel right there. We're giving some of it away tonight. We got a whole bunch of comments that we are going to peruse. You got to get working on that too.
I've got it all right here.
Got it all right there.
All right there. Okay.
So, and Marvin Hamilton, if you have not sent me your address via email, please do. I'm looking at the email now and I do not see it. ogsportsporch@gmail.com.
Don't be surprised if the technical director is not looking at the right email.
That's always a possibility. Hockey Jesus is to my right in the studio, to my left on the screen. He preaches after the podcast, after every single Penguins game. It's amazing. Is it 3 years now?
Let's go Pens. Yeah.
This
will be the third year.
This will be the third year.
Third year's the charm, they say.
And during the Stanley Cup playoffs, we're going to have some fun with it this year. So HJ, this is the time of year when I'm warming up for football and gearing down for Major League Baseball. So, and I know a lot of stuff went down, and there was a lot of movement 2-3 weeks ago.
A little bit.
But so what's the setup here for this?
The setup is real simple. We're not really going to talk about those things. We're going to talk about the fact that Sidney Crosby had a birthday last week. This is the important thing in life. Okay?
Should I have gotten him a cake? Did I screw that up?
Yes, you definitely messed up, but that's okay.
I'll get him some Tres Leches.
That's okay because Sidney Crosby's a big boy now. You know, he was born in 1987, so you know how old that makes him. Really old.
Right.
Cake with a candle?
I'm not asking.
87.
87.
Cake with a candle.
I'm not asking you to do the math.
Yeah, no candle for you. No candle for you, Sid.
But let's just say he's pushing 40.
Okay.
And I think for his birthday, I think we need to get him a few things. And I think the two things that we need to get him for his birthday is we just need to make a pact that we are absolutely going to keep Brian Rust and Ricard Raquel on his front line.
I think we should get him this for his birthday right here.
Oh, you know what?
Giveaway package.
He definitely needs some draft. Well, I don't think he's going to be too interested in the draft in April. I think he's still going to be playing some hockey.
Yeah, he might be playing hockey.
It may not be relevant at that time. I'm hoping I'll be wrong, but it probably won't be. But he will definitely be still chasing that point per game record. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, he's definitely going to be at it. But that's what I think we should do for Sidney Crosby in his birthday as he's approaching 40. The other thing I've been thinking about Sidney Crosby, there is no reason why this guy can't play to like at least 42. Look at Corey Perry. Corey Perry's played a much tougher game than Sidney Crosby. Mm-hmm. And he's playing, I think he's turning 42 this year. There is absolutely no reason why he can't play more games than Corey Perry. And if he does, I think if he plays the next 4 seasons at that point per game, he's going to be only the second player in NHL history to score more than 2,000 points. That will absolutely put him in the Hall of Fame immediately. It will automatically place him in the top 5, which I think he's already in the top 5 of all time. Probably puts him number 2 behind the great one. Although, I personally think Mario's 1, and then Sid's 2, and then Gretzky would be 3 now. But, that I'm a little biased when it comes to that sort of thing.
Wait a minute. Did you actually just say that Wayne Gretzky is only the 3rd best hockey player of all time?
Well, I'm just trying to make sure you're awake.
No, he said number 3. I heard him.
Yeah, he's only doing this because Schwab isn't here.
Right.
Because Mark would have something to say about it.
Yeah, he would be over there saying the great.
The great one. I think I put Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky
they're in their own category.
on
Let's face it.
for me on an even tier, because their games were different, but they produced a lot. You know, their games were different.
I agree. And here's how much they produced. I was looking at this the other day in the book, and we'll end this segment with this. Mario Lemieux at one point scored 151 points in 54 games.
Wow, that's amazing.
And you know why he only played 54 games that year?
Why?
Because between his point scoring streaks, he had non-lymphoma Hodgkin's disease.
Yeah, that's incredible.
he was just undergoing cancer treatment.
He was literally sick as a dog, and he scored about 3 points a game, which in hockey is
he was on.
That'd be like throwing 5 touchdowns.
He was on an unbelievable tear that year.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you see that, it's like guys like that are just in a whole nother category of greatness.
Right.
And even though Sidney Crosby, to me, is one of the greatest, he's not even close to that level.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get the whole era things. I understand that. I mean, if you look at the pads now and you look at the goalie play now compared to then, completely different. But nonetheless, happy birthday, Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I look forward to seeing you back on the ice very soon. Get your Penguins tickets now.
HJ, Marcy should get a draft swag bag. She's the only person to pass all 4 parts of the CPA exam in one sitting.
That's not true.
Rack. Yeah,
that's not true.
Yeah, well, but I think
I'm sure Donald J. Trump did.
She should get a draft bag. Now, you don't want to go down there. You don't want to go down.
No, actually, Pat, to be honest with you, I did give her a hat. She is going to a Latrobe tomorrow, and we're hoping for a picture with maybe somebody very important.
Yeah, that
with
would
the
be
hat
awesome.
on.
Yeah,
so
that's what we talked about.
You never know. Looking on your Twitter feed, you might see something very interesting.
Okay, so listen, if you're still with us, if you're on X, I appreciate it. At the Sports Porch 1 or at Sports Porch 1 on X, please hit that follow button. I got some things coming out on X. I got some new templates coming for our videos that we post. And subscribe to YouTube at the Sports Porch. Hit the notifications button. You'll know every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We are on. We're on. That's right. And go to SteelCityDraftGear.com. This gentleman below me, that is Curtis of Steel City Draft Gear.
He's our guy.
The draft is coming up. We got, if you look behind Steve there, we've got the podcast Bad Boys. We got a video I'm going to be posting. Did you do any more videos, or is that it?
No.
That video is worth it all.
I wanted you to wear it out a little bit, get them spoiled.
Okay.
And I'm going to do some more footage in the studio.
I'll get more of that one out.
Absolutely.
SteelCityDraftGear.com, promo code Porch for 5% off. Behind Steve, the podcast Bad Boys, you have your exclusive Sports Porch gear available as well.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a hat. It's got the logo on the back and the front. Steve's wearing a draft hat. Yin's Talk We Tackle shirt. I've got the 412 Draft Gear shirt. Curtis has got the NFL or the draft hat right there. It's everywhere. It's flowing everywhere. And the best comment of the night is going to get this giveaway, the draft bag, the draft towel,
Boom.
and maybe a little surprise, a shirt or a hat or something like that. Marvin Hamilton, please send me your address. Send me your address. There is the email address if you need it, ogsportsporch@gmail.com. That's where you can get it. We got a new fan club, the Inside Scoop, opinions and that. You can sign up with your email there. This is the part of the show that the Grant Schwabini usually intros, but I'm going to do it. And honestly, I got to tell you, I think I do it much better. I'm sorry.
Well, it won't take you 35 minutes.
That's right. I mean, he just kind of gets in the weeds.
But I mean, we do have to give back. To our people.
We do. So this is the part of the show where we give back to you. And how do we do that? Well, you give us time. You give us your precious time, your precious comments, and we want to save you time and give it back to you. And how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of streaming services out there. You got Netflix, Amazon, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Hulu,
oh my gosh,
Peacock, Paramount Plus, regular DirecTV. I mean, it's Roku. It's like ridiculous. And what happens? You have no idea what to watch. You're climbing into bed with the wife or significant other, or maybe you're just watching something with your kids.
On the
and you're
sofa with your cat.
Right, with your cat. Yeah,
Or
I
your
watch
dog.
movies with my cat all the time. And you're flicking through and you can't find anything. Next thing you know, 45 minutes have gone by. That is statistically the average, as has been proven by many years of research. And it's gone. It's wasted. So we do that for you. We do that for you. We watch all of these streaming services. We watch as many things as we can.
Absolutely.
And then we make recommendations. And we tell you if it's good, if it's bad, if we're indifferent, and we give you that time back. Is that all right?
That was excellent.
You thought that was good?
I thought that was much better than Schwabini.
I thought I was
maybe
kind of dragging
not
it
as
out
much energy.
a little bit.
Schwab really brings the energy on that. He loves the booms. He brings the bams.
Yeah.
You know,
he likes to say things
you're just
like,
in. You're in your boom, boom, boom.
Porch guys told him. The sports porch guys. So anyway, what we're watching tonight, I'm going to start with Steve here.
All right.
I love this. HJ is watching or has watched. I did watch this, by the way.
You did.
I
okay,
did.
Excellent.
You know I did. You know.
Yeah, of course you did.
You've heard of the Son of Sam, of course,
Yes, I have.
right?
Absolutely.
So what I am watching is Conversations with a Killer, Son of Sam's tapes. Now, everybody probably knows who this,
Sam Berkowitz.
Sam Berkowitz, the son of Sam, killer in the 1970s, in New York City, terrorized the whole city for at least one summer. I think it was actually happened longer, but it really kind of came to head, I think, in like the summer of 72 or somewhere around there.
No, it was 77.
Okay, thank you. 1977.
I pay attention to documentaries.
Well, I didn't pay attention because you know what? This sucked. I'm just going to get right to it.
There it is.
I'm just going to get right to it. I wasted 3 episodes of my life on this for you. Fortunately, it was only 3. I learned absolutely nothing new other than the son of Sam's voice sounds like a girl. And on top of that, he's everything we've already known about him. He's deranged. He thought the dog was talking to him. He had to kill people. He wrote on the walls and punched holes in the walls, and he just got caught, and now he's dead. And it really was kind of a waste of time. I didn't learn anything new about it. I thought maybe, because it was the tapes of his own voice, like there would be something in there, some insight, something different.
Subliminal message.
There's nothing.
There's
nothing new with this story. It's run its course. Don't watch anything anymore called Son of Sam, anything. You already know it if you've watched one.
Now, I disagree with you. And the reason I disagree with you is, first of all, we know I'm a documentary junkie. I actually just,
that is true.
Yeah.
More so than me. I love documentaries, but I have a low tolerance for learning the same thing over and over and over again.
What I thought was interesting about this, you're basically right about everything you just said. But one of the interesting things is the tapes that you listen to are because when he was in Attica after he just pled guilty to everything. He didn't even fight it.
No, he didn't.
After he pled guilty to everything and went to Attica for the rest of his life, he reached out to a daily
writer,
a New York Daily News writer, and said, "Come do an interview." And he basically said, like, he goes over his childhood history, and he had when he was very young, a fairly normal upbringing, which is kind of surprising.
Right.
But then a bunch of other stuff happened that essentially made him really angry at women.
Okay.
And so he decided to do this. He was kind of a loser. He had all this rage and anger. But then what happened is, as the media started to perpetuate this story and make it more and more, wild, like demonic, and these letters he's sending, he would actually do things to set himself up to get caught that the police and the media had speculated.
Right.
So he had heard something, so he would specifically leave evidence because he wanted to get caught. And he literally said at one point, he said he totally made up the dog talking to him and totally made up that stuff because somebody in the media and somebody in law enforcement had said he's probably deranged and he hears voices. And I was like, okay, my neighbor's name was Sam. I'm the son of Sam. His dog told me to kill everybody. So I thought that part was kind of interesting.
It was not interesting.
But at the same time, his
Sorry, not
stories
to
are
me.
kind of circular. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should believe any of that. He's
the guy
definitely nuts.
the guy definitely forget about him. He's
All right.
dead. Goodbye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Son of Sam
Don't
tapes.
waste any more time.
Conversations with a Killer. Son of Sam tapes on Netflix. Steve gives it. HJ gives it
2
thumbs down. And it's his.
If I
It's
had
his
3,
review.
I would give it 3.
It's his review, not mine. So there you go. Okay, now I watched something, surprise, surprise, that is also a documentary on HBO Max. I thought it was very interesting. It is called Murder in Boston, Roots, Rampage, and Reckoning. So most of us don't remember this, although it was a pretty big story at the
Looks
time.
like the 80s.
It was 1989,
I
so
could tell.
we were 19. You were 19, 20-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
The picture
so
of that girl looks strangely familiar.
well, she looks like you would love her. She's got a big nose.
That's true.
That's like your thing.
Brunette, big nose.
Too much information.
She does look like my ex-girlfriend.
Rest in peace. She's dead. Okay, and so is he.
Well, I'm just not going to. I'm going to stop talking now.
I know. I wish you would actually keep talking, but that's all right.
Not.
So that is Chuck Stewart, if you're watching on the screen, and essentially the bottom line is
He killed her.
9-1. There it is.
There it is.
All done.
And it was a murder in Boston.
Took a while.
And it took place in Boston, I bet.
What this is really about is it's about a murder of a pregnant woman by her husband that occurred in what was called the Mission Hill area of Boston. Now, Boston in the late 80s was still a very segregated city.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 70s, they started busing, and there were the obvious issues with people and clashes there. And then a new mayor came in. His last name was Flynn. I don't remember his last name, but he started to kind of try to bridge the gap. But Boston was always a white Irish Catholic town. And what happened is they said that you had the
racist.
You had the Catholics running the businesses and the Irish running the politics, something like that.
Yeah.
So what happened is when they found this guy in the Mission Hill Project, he had called the police, said, my wife's been shot. I've been shot. This guy hopped in the car, made us drive here, robbed us and shot us.
I remember
and then left.
One now.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to come back to memory.
And this mayor who had started to repair race relations in the city,
he's like, this is bad.
Instantly kind of turned it into this, like Chuck Stewart said, it was a black man. Said it's a black man.
Right.
So what did the police do? They believed him. So they start focusing on that. And it really goes into how the perspective of the people that were living back then that are still alive. It really goes into how the police just kind of wanted to believe this narrative. And then even the media started to believe this narrative. And in the end, you get this really long issue where a lot of people's lives were turned upside down. And in the end, finally, you find out that he did it. His brothers knew he did it.
Oh, wow.
And he committed suicide because he was literally mortally wounded. So we'll never know what exactly happened.
Okay.
But what was interesting is a lot of the players in it were like, listen, man, you're not gonna kill a white pregnant woman in the Mission Hill Project. Like that's just it didn't add up.
Right.
That somebody who was just a burglar would make them drive there and kill them there because that's where we live.
Right.
That's where we live.
So you're saying this guy figured it out.
Right. So, what happened is he got his brother involved before it happened. And his brother was this happy-go-lucky idiot. And he was like, I need you to meet me somewhere and take this bag and get rid of it tonight. So his brother met him, took the bag, got rid of it, got home and heard that him and his wife had been shot, and then looked in the bag and it was like a gun and a diamond ring, but they sat on it for like a week.
Okay.
week and a half. And in the meantime, the cops are busting down people's homes and ripping people out of their lives, and saying it was this guy and it was that guy and it was this guy.
Sounds
and
bad.
all along it was Chuck Stewart. When Chuck Stewart realized they were going, oh, wait a minute. And then the brother came in and said, I think I know what happened. I think I was part of something. Like, I'm a hapless idiot. I think, he's like, when he handed me the bag and told me to do that, I thought he was just going to have somebody rob something from me. He's going to claim it on insurance.
Right.
And I never in a million years thought this was a possibility. So finally he went in and so when the walls were closing in, this coward jumped off a bridge after, healing himself from, he gave himself a mortal wound. But we don't know if he had somebody do it and then shoot him, or if he shot her and then shot himself, because he shot himself here. Like that. If you get shot there, you're gonna die.
Right.
Yeah.
So was he trying to commit? Was he like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill? Because there was insurance money. So it's an interesting, if you like those kind of podcasts, if you like those kind of documentaries,
did you learn something new?
You know what? I barely remembered the case, like the wife, and then later they delivered the baby while they were trying to keep her alive, and then later the baby died. I remembered that, but I didn't have any insight into the backstory.
Yeah, to his whole brothers
behind
and
what was going on in Boston, and then how the police operated.
I get you. Yeah.
And
all that. That's worth your time.
And you were very descriptive on it. Hell, I'm scarred.
Well, in all honesty, I mean, for me in my position in life, when I was watching it and they were interviewing the people that lived in those projects and how they grew up, it gives you a new perspective on not, I mean, we all know what happens when something like that happens. Right. The police tend to go in one direction.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're sitting on our side of the table, obviously, I'm not familiar with that direction.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when they started, did you take that down?
I did.
Thank you, God. Or hockey Jesus.
You're welcome.
What I had never heard of in a documentary, or what I had never witnessed, was the people of color that lived in Mission Hill, and how they viewed, like, when this happened and nobody knew.
Right.
And the guy, the cops in the ambulance, they have tape of it, or like, who did this to you? He's like a black man wearing a black Adidas running suit with a red stripe or a white stripe. They're like, that was what we all wore.
Right.
And a couple of them were like, as soon as we heard that they said it was a black man, we were all like, a light brown skinned black man in his 30s wearing an Adidas track shirt. The one guy was like, they're coming for all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like, it'd be one thing if it was, he could say like he had a tattoo right here or whatever.
But that was everybody in the projects at the time.
Yeah. And so what I thought was really actually educational was listening to their perspective, because their perspective was just like, here we go again.
Right.
And so, and I did not know that Boston at one point, and you would never think about this about Massachusetts and Boston. It's a very, very liberal area, for lack of a better term, very democratic area historically. But Boston was considered one of the most racist places in the country.
Oh, yeah.
In the 70s. So I over explained that, but it really actually gave me some perspective I had not had before. And I wasn't expecting it when I picked it, because it just said murder in Boston, and I like murder and I like documentaries.
And you're giving it 2 thumbs up.
And I am absolutely giving it 2 thumbs up. Yoho Son says, where's the Trader Joe's? No Schwabini, no Trader Joe's. My Matrix is glitchy.
Oh no, that could be Curtis's new nickname, the new Schwabini.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Yoho Son,
man.
we have, for the time being, we have put the Trader Joe's segment on hold, but
It's
honestly,
up on the shelf.
Honestly, we're getting more people asking about it than we thought.
Yeah.
So
people love the Trader Joe segment.
They do. It just doesn't get any traction on TikTok. That's why we did that.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Maybe we need to
I
bring it
miss the
back.
food personally.
Yeah, maybe we need to.
You know what?
Of course you do.
It's that time of the show where we need to pick an absolute winner.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
This one did it for me. This one did it for me.
Okay, but let me tell everybody what the winner is. SteelCityDraftGear.com. Promo code Porch if you want to purchase some Steel City draft gear for the draft that is coming up. Promo code Porch, SteelCityDraftGear.com. And we're having a giveaway tonight. You're going to get a bag and a towel and a little bonus. All you got to do is send your email address or send your address to us, ogsportsporch@gmail.com. All right, best comment of the night. Go for it, H.
Best comment of the night. Yo-ho, son, you're killing it tonight. You know what makes a shit documentary good? Sassafras by the pound. And you know what? You can't
figure out what sassafras is.
No,
by the pound.
You can't get any more truthful than that. Yeah. Yo-ho, son, congratulations. You're a big winner this week, and you've earned every piece of gear.
That's right. ogsportsporch@gmail.com. That is our Gmail address, our email address.
Send us your address.
Send us your address. It'll go out right away. Mike Lawrence and Chris Chata received their gear. I'm waiting for Marvin Hamilton to email me at ogsportsporch@gmail.com.
Come on, Mark.
And Yo-ho, son, just send your name and address. I don't want your phone number. I will respond personally to your email. It's not an automated email response. It's a free Gmail address that we use because we're cheap here. And
frugal.
Thank you. And Yo-ho, son says right on.
All right. We managed this without the grand Schwab.
Who knew?
But we got a new Schwab.
All right. You are watching, or you have watched, the Sports Porch Black and Gold edition all over the world, live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. And, of course, I'm going to drop the podcast right after the show in the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. That's right, anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. Want to thank Curtis from Steel City Draft Gear for being in the house. Go there, SteelCityDraftGear.com. Get your draft gear right now. All kinds of new stuff coming. I am your technical director for Hockey Jesus, for the Grand Schwab Beanie, who is not here.
Have fun with
Curtis,
that pizza.
Right there. We'll see you next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I am out.